Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIII-2. And here it looks like we're going to take control of Vanille. Maybe even, I would say more so than maybe, get into combat and whatnot with Sarah. Sarah was, originally before I played 13, going into 13, I thought Sarah was a character that would be in my party and whatnot in 13. Essentially, I think I thought Sarah would have been in Vanille's place. And when I first saw Vanille in 13, because you see Vanille before you see Sarah, when I saw Vanille in the opening of 13, and once the game started, and when Vanille first got shown, I thought that was Sarah. You know, because of the whole pinkish red hair. And I thought that was Sarah, actually. I thought that was Lightning's sister, and then the character that Snow was going to be with. But no, Vanille was her own character. Because I think even in the opening, when, you know, it was showing... It was primarily showing the 6 main characters of 13, or 6 party members. And it would show Vanille in there, and I think he even said, like, oh, yeah, there's Lightning, there's Snow, there's the kid character, there's the black guy with the afro, there's Lightning's sister. But anyway. Nah. Right. Talk about tutorials. Damn, they're really giving me a big tutorial here about moving the camera. As you progress through the game, the data log will gradually fill with entries on a variety of subjects. Yeah, no problem with the data log. I just think it's better. It would have been better in 13 to actually try to have explain things in the cutscenes in the beginning of the game better than having to rely on going into the data log to figuring out shit. Message will appear in the upper left corner of the screen whenever a new entry is added. To browse this information, press triangle to access the main menu and then select the data log. Right. Those who have yet to play Final Fantasy XIII can brush up on basic gameplay by reading through primers for beginners. It looks like Sarah has a crossbow for a weapon. Looks like her hair's kind of different, maybe. Not really. It looks different here in the in her portrait here in the main menu. Eternal Crystal. Crystal that can only be obtained by those who have played Final Fantasy XIII. Well, cool. Because I sure did. I played and I beated, if that's a word, Final Fantasy XIII. And they're even nice enough to give me 3 potions to start off. Lightning is Sarah's older sister and a former soldier. She is also one of the Lassie who helped stop the fall of the Skyborn Paradise cocoon, saving millions of lives in the process. Real quick, when I was playing 13, like I just kind of, I think I understood better. Well, I definitely understand better now about what exactly was going on at the end of 13. I didn't realize that Cocoon was falling down to Pulse, and that's what was going to destroy Pulse. I thought it was just a random meteor that got summoned because we destroyed Orphan. And I didn't know like what exactly that did or didn't have to do with the Maker. But yeah, I should have known better. But I guess once Cocoon would have hit Pulse, and that would have brought basically the end of the world, I'm guessing that would have brought the Maker, but we prevented that from happening, preventing the Maker from showing up. I just wonder, and I have to believe so, that the Maker will probably show up eventually. If not in this game, then maybe Lightning Returns. 3 years ago, one of the supernatural fal'Cie gave Lightning a focus in order to destroy Cocoon. She resisted her fate, however, and protected her floating home. Shortly after those events, Lightning ceased to exist in this world. Damn. Most believe that she gave her life in return for Cocoon's salvation. Like she gave her life to restore Cocoon to what it was, maybe. But I also wonder, because Lightning was a character who was a fal'Cie, and but she became a regular human again. So I wonder if her disappearing is still connected to her being a fal'Cie. So I wonder if what's happened to Snow, Hope, and Sass. Have they disappeared too? Or is it just Lightning? And also, I've brought up that Vanille, like I feel like Vanille is in this game. Maybe, I don't know, maybe once again I've confused Vanille and Sarah. And maybe it really is just Sarah who's in the spotlight, but I have a feeling Vanilla and Fang are going to come back. I know they're going to come back. And they're probably going to come back this game, and we're probably going to see them. Because I think I've seen like a clip of Fang being in this game before. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I do know something. Because I've brought up the fact that I like to watch the Final Fantasy in a Nutshell videos. I've brought up that before. I did watch the one for Final Fantasy 13 after I beat Final Fantasy 13. And in that, actually, they said, like, they made a joke, like, because they were at the point where they were at the end of the game, and they were joking how, well, everybody in the game lives happily ever after, except for Vanilla and Fang. But then they said, don't worry, everybody has a happy ending after the whole trilogy. So don't ever have to worry about any of the characters dying. I guess. Not Lightning, not Snow, not Sarah, not Hope, not Fang, not Vanille, not anybody. Maybe some new characters that get brought up, but at least the characters there in original Final Fantasy 13. We don't have to worry about any of them dying or staying dead or whatever. So that was kind of a I didn't like. I mean, it is what it is. It's whatever. But damn, Final Fantasy in a nutshell. You kind of spoiled me on the trilogy that everybody's going to get a happy ending. But whatever. And I'm sorry if I spoiled you, but I did say in the beginning that spoilers, anything Final Fantasy series, watch out for spoilers. Sarah's Lightning's younger sister. 3 years ago, she unwittingly became part of the events that threatened the entire world and was eventually saved by her older sibling. Sarah is still unable to accept the fact that Lightning is gone. She left her home on Cocoon and now lives as a teacher in the Grand Pulse frontier town of New Bodhum. Sarah is engaged to the Nora leader Snow, but current circumstances prevent them from being together. Has he disappeared as well? Nora. Nora is a vigilante group of young do-gooders from the Cocoon town of Bodhum, no strangers to fending for themselves. The group went on to found the settlement of New Bodhum in the harsh environment of Pulse. Nora consists of 4 core members: the intimidating Godot, Snow's right-hand man, the amiable mood maker Huge, the mechanical genius McKee, and the Nora house resident Chef. I think it's Chef. I can't English, I'm sorry. LeBrew. Snow, Nora's founding member, is presently away from New Bodhum because he disappeared, I'm telling you. He disappeared. They all disappeared. All the people that were Falsey but not Falsey anymore, they soon disappeared. Snow, Hope, Sass, and of course Lightning. The Falsey are supernatural entities that once governed the floating paradise of Cocoon. These godlike beings possess the powers to curse humans, transforming them into Lassie. Lightning and Sarah were once enslaved as Lassie and given the task of destroying Cocoon. Lightning defied the will of the Falsey and steered her fate down a different road. Following the catastrophe, the Falsey of Cocoon fell into slumber. A different group of Falsey exists on Grand Pulse, but they show little interest in the activities of humans. So all the Falseys on Cocoon went to sleep. Lassie and Seath. Seath are the cursed human servants of the Falsey. Those chosen to serve find their bodies marked with a brand and are given orders in the form of a vague vision. This vision is known as a focus, and Lassie are granted magical powers in order to fulfill their abstract destiny. But let me just go ahead and say that, like, I have learned some new lore stuff already by just reading this data log. And hopefully they would bring this stuff up very soon in the game anyways. Especially the Snow stuff, because they would have to bring that up sooner rather than later, that Snow's missing. Or he's just away or whatever's going on with him. Of course they're going to have to mention that soon, right? But even like this, what I learned right here, that all the Falsey on Cocoon are in a slumber, like hopefully they'll mention that sooner rather than later as well. Hopefully it's just not a situation where I would have known about it, or I reasonably would have known about it and gotten a decent grasp on it if I didn't go to the data log. Catastrophe. 3 years ago, mankind stared into the face of extinction, with Cocoon almost crashed onto the surface of Pulse. The sphere's fall was halted by Lightning's companions, Fang and Vanille. Their desperate sacrifice summoned a massive pillar that cradled the plummeting Cocoon in its crystalline branches, averting an unimaginable disaster. The two Lassie now sleep within the pillar in crystal form, and there are some who believe Lightning slumbers alongside them. A new age began from that day forth, with each subsequent year marked by the letters AF or after the fall. Oh, cool. You said that at this point that was 3 years ago? So I think Lightning was 21 in Final Fantasy XIII. So that would make her 24 in this game, or should be 24 in this game. Locales, Cocoon and Pulse. Cocoon is a massive sphere constructed and set in the sky by the powerful and enigmatic beings known as the Fal'Cie up until Zero AF. Yeah, that's funny actually. Zero AF. It was a floating paradise that was home to several million people. Now, however, the broken shell rests on an immense crystal pillar bereft of the power source that once kept it aloft. The interior of the sphere has deteriorated, forcing the population to relocate to the land below. The lower world, known as either Pulse or Grand Pulse, is an unforgiving wilderness infested with predatory monsters. This world once boasted a civilization that stood in conflict with Cocoon, but traces of its culture exist only in ruins. New Bodhum. New Bodhum is one of the settlements built by immigrants from Cocoon on the shores of Pulse. Many of its residents, including Sarah Farron and former inhabitants of Cocoon's seaside town of Bodhum. Sarah's fiancé Snow chose the settlement's name. The members of this group, Nora, help work the fields and protect the townspeople from roaming monsters. Okay, I don't need to go through these, I don't think. Well, it's cool to see Moogles are back and present in this game. Gonna change that real quick. Everything else I think can stay the same, at least for now. You know, it's kind of cool that we're playing as Sarah now, I must say. Sarah's not just a damsel in distress. Dreams of strange worlds, clothes appearing from nowhere. What's going on? Well, I think square and X are both right. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to answer circle or triangle, because I don't think either one of those are right. Someone is coming here. What's his name? Christ. I'm not sure if that was intended to be a message from Lightning. I'm just gonna say, is someone coming here?
Some guy I saw with Lightning. I don't think I've ever seen him before. Why does he seem so familiar? Maybe we're going to meet in the future. What's happening?
Where's the village? Everything out here is completely different. What is this place? Huh. I don't want to say, is this still a dream? Because I really don't, I'm not loving any of these options.
How did I get here? This place. It's like the world has ended. Wait. This is the future. Is this what's going to happen to us? But why? Enough. I want to go home.
If all that does, like me having to choose what dialogue for what Sarah kind of responds with, if all that is just changes dialogue, you know what? That, like, I'm fine with that. That's cool. But I also hope that it like it does something else too, or at least like later in the game. I think it would be cool to have dialogue options with like talking to characters, and you could have something like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on here? But anyway, you could have something like a relation. You can have, I guess dating mechanics, how that worked in 7.
Lightning, help me!
And they also had something like that in 10. Basically,
Get hold of yourself. Lightning can't protect you anymore.
basically a system in the game.
Protect yourself now. Do you hear me? Your sister's dead. She can't help.
Damn,
LeBron!
her name is LeBro. I thought it was LeBrew. I think LeBrew sounds better. LeBro.
Then you're gonna have to go through me!
Damn, she just straight up said Lightning is dead. She cannot help you. Get it together, bitch.
My dream. I saw you.
Save it for later.
The man of your dreams.
Can you fight?
Snow has some competition.
If I have to.
You're gonna have to. One more thing. Don't ever lay down and wait to die!
What if this guy is Snow? It's just like an alternate version of Snow. Wouldn't that be some shit? But I think it would be cool if quote-unquote dating mechanics came back in this game. Just dialogue actions or just choices you make in the game that affect positively or negatively how other characters in the game feel about the main character. I think that's cool. This game would get some serious bonus points if they had something like that in here. Like it doesn't need to be like huge and major. Like I'm not looking for a game that it's like Fallout 4 and everything's a decision, and like they really changed the game a whole lot, and you can get multiple different endings. Like, that doesn't need to exist. Just something like what Final Fantasy VII had, where the character you have the highest that has the highest affection for you, you go on a date with, or like 10. You know, whatever character has the highest affection for you at certain points in the game, you get a cutscene featuring them. I think that's cool. What am I doing here? Going to the explanation mark. We'll get into a battle with these guys real quick. Paradigm shift tutorial. Oh yeah, we'll just see if it's any different at all than 13's paradigm shift. It's looking very similar. Commando, Ravager Commando, Commando Sentinel, 2 Sentinels. Yeah, very similar. Well, hopefully this game can just be a better version of Final Fantasy XIII. But we'll see. Hopefully the battles just don't get too... Hopefully they don't get aggravating. So I don't have a medic. I guess be a Sentinel for right now because I don't have a medic. Ruin did a little bit more damage than both my attacks right there. Well, I guess these enemies, they're not weaker. I guess they're doing about the same damage. It just more or less depends. Man, I really don't want to waste a potion right here. It is important to choose a paragon based on each situation. Right. 2 stars, that sucked. Damn, getting right back into battle. Where did you get a sword? Damn, I guess it's a bow that she can turn into a sword. Well, that's kind of cool because lightning has a gun blade, and I guess Sarah has a bow blade. They just randomly turn into a sword. Hey, yo, good day, what's up?
Hey, boys and girls!
This guy's actually fighting. The blonde kid. I'm probably not getting any... Am I getting any Christogen points for this? Does that return in this game? Let me pay more attention to the battle results screen after I'm done with this battle. Damn, how did I only get 3 stars? The target time is 1 minute and 27 seconds. And I did it in 32 seconds. Yeah, Christogen, 24 points. And I'm getting points. I think at the very beginning of 13, before you get paradigms, because you don't have them at the very beginning of the game, you don't get Christogen points. Now in this game, you're starting off with paradigms, so you're getting Christogen points. But that does make me wonder. Well, Sarah was a Lassie at one point, obviously. There was lightning in them, so and maybe that's why lightning and possibly the others have disappeared. So maybe it's kind of a situation where once a Lassie, always a Lassie, even if your brain disappears, and shit can always happen. But maybe you always have your Lassie powers, and that's why Sarah can use paradigms here in the beginning of the game. And I guess if all that is true, I guess that would mean Noel was a Lassie. I want to see Sarah use her sword again. How did she do that? Oh shit, oh, I guess I just had to fight a certain amount of battles. I thought I was actually going to have to get to a certain part of the map. Where that icon was showing on the mini-map.
Hey, Sarah. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Mackie. Yeah. Gotta go.
Okay.
All right, everyone, listen up. Meteorite hit over there.
Right.
We're gonna check it out.
Team Yuge, ready to roll. Oh, and careful. That area's crawling with monsters.
So stay close. Come on.
Okay. You heard him. Move out. With you.
You're okay.
She took a hit, but she's gonna be fine. She just needs some rest.
Thank goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Whoever you are.
No. No, Christ.
Okay.
And before I forget, it wasn't just me. You should probably thank this little guy, too.
That's a Moogle. A Moogle is your weapon.
Is that a toy Moogle?
He's supposed to be your lucky charm. Your sister gave him to me.
Wait, you know Lightning?
She's the one who told me to come here.
Where? Where did you see her? Was it Valhalla?
Yeah, how'd you guess?
I saw it in a dream. I saw my sister. She gave you the Moogle. And then the meteorite came.
And dragged me along with it, I guess.
Do you mean you actually rode here on that meteorite?
Maybe. I don't know. Damned if I can remember. Why don't we go and check it out?
Okay.
That was kind of a weird line delivery. Why don't we go and check it out?
Now I know for sure. Lightning is alive. She's in a place called Valhalla. I'd only just met Noel, but I believed him. I believed every word he said. Even though it couldn't possibly be true. It seems like only yesterday. The smile on Lightning's face when she gave her blessing for Snow and me to get married. But I'm the only one who ever remembered that. No one believes. It's just a dream, they say, from when I slept in the crystal. An illusion. They say my sister is gone. That 3 years ago she sacrificed herself to stop the fall of Cocoon. She turned into the crystal pillar that holds Cocoon above the surface of Pulse, and saved both worlds. That's what they say. But even so.
Is that what they think happened to...
Is that all you're going to tell me? Your name? Who are you? What do you do?
I'm a hunter.
You feel like an interrogator. Do you mind me asking?
Shoot.
Well, let's hold up. Let's look around and smell the roses here, because there's shit going on.
At least I'm still alive.
Monsters like that existed.
A lot of characters around here.
I can't believe him! He's gonna get it!
I wonder if that's really a meteorite.
meteorite.
I've never seen anything
like him before. It took him seconds to turn our sentry bots into scrap
I
metal.
heard a meteorite fell from the sky,
fell from the
and
sky, and
that's when all these
appeared.
monsters appeared.
That's right.
That's
Goodell
right.
and the others
Goodell
went
and
to
the others
check out the
went to
meteorite.
check out the meteorite.
It's right outside
It's
town.
right outside town along the mountain path.
That way, over
That
towards
way,
Cocoon.
over towards Cocoon.
Goodell and the others went
Goodell
to
and the
examine
others
the
went to examine the meteorite.
The meteorite fell
The
over there.
meteorite fell
in
over
that
there,
area near
in that
Cocoon.
area near Cocoon.
Goodell and the others
Goodell
left
and
to
the others left to investigate the
Were
meteorite.
Huge and Mackie
Were
with
Huge
him?
and Mackie with him?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
I think so.
He made us stay here
He made us
because
stay here because the path is covered in fallen trees.
He said it was way too
He said it
dangerous
was way
for
too
us.
dangerous for us.
All civilians have
All
been ordered to
civilians
stay
have been ordered to
indoors.
stay indoors.
Great. We get to
Great.
protect the
We
whole
get to protect
village.
the whole village.
Please come back to us
Please
soon.
come back to us soon.
That guy's voice sounds familiar.
We moved LeBron and the kids to a
LeBron and the
safe
kids
place.
to a safe place.
Wish I were with them.
Wish I were.
I think it's the same guy who voiced that one random character in Final Fantasy X-2. And it's the guy who also sounds like the person who voices Robin from Teen Titans. What's up with him wanting to voice a random character in the Final Fantasy blank 2 games? Final Fantasy Direct sequel games.
Oh, hello, Miss Fair.
Hello, Miss Fair.
How are the kids?
How are the
You're
kids?
worried about them
You're
too?
worried about them too.
Don't worry, the kids
Don't
in the
worry,
row
the
are
kids in the
safe
row
and
are
sound.
safe and sound.
They're inside that building.
They're
by the
inside that
shore.
building by the shore.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Sarah, I didn't know you
Sarah,
were
I
such a
didn't know
worry
you were
wart.
such a worry
But it's
wart.
understandable.
But it's
I
understandable.
guess you've been through a
I
lot,
guess you've been
huh?
through a lot, huh?
A noodle that
A noodle
moves?
that
That's
moves.
so
That's
cute.
so cute.
LeBro's fine.
LeBro's
the kids
fine.
are taking care
The kids
of
are
her, so you
taking care
have
of her, so you
nothing to
have
worry
nothing to worry about.
about. We'll keep patrolling.
We'll keep patrolling.
All civilians.
All civilians.
was in trouble and my man just ran off. What a loser.
I can't believe him.
He's gonna get it.
I wonder if that's
I wonder
really
if that's
needed.
really a meteorite.
I bet these monsters follow some idiot back to town. Only I could use magic too.
We can catch spotters.
I bet these monsters follow some idiot back to town. I didn't know monsters like that existed on Pulse. At least I'm still alive.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Oh, the strange young man says, I'm gonna try and do Sarah's voice a little bit, but bear with me. The strange young man says he met with Lightning in Valhalla. I need to find out more. Here we go. This is kind of what I was talking about. Some dialogue options when talking to characters. Yeah, I kind of want to know where you're from.
Where are you from?
Where are you
Somewhere
from?
inside
Somewhere
Cocoon?
inside Cocoon?
Cool. So I guess it still exists in this age. I've traveled around a lot. Following the ever since I was born.
Wait, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
You were born on
You were born
Pulse?
on Pulse?
I'm not trying to hide
I'm
anything.
not trying to hide anything.
You don't believe me?
You don't believe me?
Guess I'm not
Guess
so
I'm
good at
not
small
so good at small talk.
talk. I'm not trying to hide
I'm
anything.
not trying to hide anything.
Mod clock. Learn about the mod clock and monster encounters? I guess. Whenever monsters suddenly materialize, the mod clock appears and progresses through the following indicators. Green, the enemy is immobile and preemptive strike is possible. If you attack successfully, you will begin the battle with bonuses. Yellow, enemy is moving and ready for battle. Coming into contact with the enemy will begin a standard battle. Time's up. Enemy is fully alerted and attacks. When time runs out, the battle begins automatically. You cannot select retry for battles that begin in this manner. Well, that seems a little random. You can't select retry. You can attack any enemies within the encounter circle. Press X to initiate battle when the enemy is in front of you. Escape from battle by moving far away from enemies so that none remain within the circle. When the mod clock appears, it is up to you whether to take on the enemy or flee. Starseeker, isn't that the name of a Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 2? Isn't that called the Starseeker? The Keyblade, the second Keyblade you get in all of Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh, cool. You can rotate the your characters in this. So you're obviously not from the same time as Lightning and Sarah and everybody else. So are you from the past or are you from the future? I have to say you gotta be from the past. But you knew about Cocoon. The Cocoon has been around for a long time. So I'm thinking he's from the past. They kind of have it here. The characters where Sarah's looking at Noel, like she's kind of in love with him. Like that's just kind of the impression I'm getting. That's just kind of what it looks like to me. Like I could see this being a meme, and it could say, find a girl that looks like Sarah when she's looking at Noel, when she's looking at you. Find a girl that looks at you the way Sarah looks at Noel. Anyway, I'm sure that Sarah and Snow are in game. Mog is a small, mysterious creature covered in white fur. He has bat-like wings, and he often beats as he flits around. He often beats as he flits around. But his power of flight does not appear to rely on them. Mog has a crystal bauble that reacts to the presence of anomalies, and he is proficient at finding lost objects, but his most astounding feature is his ability to transform into a weapon. With the right components available, Mog is capable of evolving into an even more powerful weaponry. And of course his name is Mog too. It's just gotta be. That is the Moogle name. Lightning came across Mog in Valhalla and asked the strange little being to act as Sarah's protector and good luck charm. Although he closely resembles the fictitious Moogles described in Cocoon's fairy tales, the connection is uncertain. Magic is the ability to draw on the crystal power residing within oneself and make possible all manner of incredible feats. This power was once only the province of Lassie, but since the catastrophe and the migration to Pulse, some former citizens of Cocoon have suddenly developed the ability to wield magic. Sarah is one of these people. So it has nothing to do with once being a Lassie. Many of those who now command magical energies are simply citizens, and have never had Sarah's expertise of once being a Lassie. It is theorized that the move to Grand Pulse has awoken these abilities, and people are beginning to see magic as just another tool in their everyday lives. Noah is also capable of casting spells, but doesn't seem to think of himself as anything special. During events and conversations, you will often come across light trigger options. By pressing the relevant button, you can choose how you will act or respond. Certain conversations allow you to explore all of the live triggers options. Some live triggers will, with special options, only appear after you have fulfilled certain requirements. The selections you make leave their mark on history and may lead to the appearance of valuable items from the edges of space-time. Try all the options you can and discover what the twists and turns of the timeline hold in store. Well, if it's just something like, if you choose certain dialogue options, you get better items for it, that's not as cool to me. mean, it's still like I don't know. Characters perform abilities in battle by expanding segments of the ATB gauge, which charges continuously over time. Yeah, I don't need to read all this. I think this is all mostly the same as the last game. Commando, Ravager, Sentinel. I guess that's all I have for now. No Saboteur, no Medic, no Synergist. Yo, what the fuck just happened? Physical attacks are doing nothing. How about Ruin? That's not doing much either. Right, we need to stagger you. We need to work on staggering you. Really wish I had medic. I'm just gonna say that. At the moment, it just seems like Noah is the straight up better character, which I guess makes sense. But it says level 2, so do you have straight up levels in this game? Holy shit. There's a lot of slots for characters here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Assuming that at some point each slot will be filled with a different character. We can have 13 characters in this game. Damn. I gotta think that a lot of these slots might be filled by characters that were in the last game. Like eventually we'll get like Snow and Hope and Saz and Vanilla and Fang back, and maybe, just maybe, even Lightning at some point. But there's gonna be some new ones. I don't know. It's kind of hard to believe that I'll ever have 13 characters at once that I can choose from to be in the party. So maybe it's just. I don't know. What do I think is gonna happen? Damn. I mean, it looks like it's implying that. I mean, maybe some characters I'll get, and then they'll exit the party, and other characters will come and fill their place, and it'll be a revolving door. But this, you know, this kind of makes me feel like the game is implying that yes, at a certain point, you will have all 13 characters together, and you can pick between them all. Like, why would they go with this format? If that wasn't the case. So I think that is the case. That's what I'm calling. There's no treasure back here, is there? I hope I didn't screw up getting dialogue. So enemies are just going to show up randomly at any point. Seems like it's just the quickest to attack these things. Yeah, there she goes. There she goes, using her sword. That's cool. It just seems like it happens randomly, just completely randomly. I'm somehow just getting 3 stars for this. What do you want from me? Damn, Kane. How is that only 3 stars? I can't, like, can I even possibly kill them any faster? That's going to take a little bit of getting used to, holding down circle to do jumps. This thing just showed up and started chasing me down. Ravager Commando, let's go.
What's up, no?
What's up, no?
I just didn't think it would be that beautiful. Beautiful. Cocoon.
Cool.
That's exactly like
That's exactly like in the legend.
I can't believe you're here.
Sarah, why don't you ask no questions right here, right now? He even said earlier he wasn't trying to hide anything from you. Just ask him. No. Where exactly are you from? You're from Pulse, right? What do you mean Legends of Cocoon? You only heard Cocoon and Legends? Elaborate on that more. What happened to you? How'd you end up in Valhalla with lightning? Noah's staring at Cocoon like he's seeing it for the first time. What to say? So you're saying I could possibly ask all these questions if I do it the right way?
You're not used to seeing
Cocoon, huh?
No.
No.
Well, actually,
This is
the first time
this is
I've
the
ever
first
seen
time
it.
I've ever seen it.
The first time?
The first time? You can't be serious. Like, the first time seeing it from the outside?
Can I ask more? Oh my god. Alright, well. This is where I'm going to end this one. And until next time.